Hey guys, it's Heather from Kell of a Plan, and today I am going to be showing you guys how to create or how to turn your favorite coloring book into a disc-bound coloring book. So I don't know about you guys, but I love adult coloring. Like, I'm obsessed with it, especially when it's florals. Now, I know you're probably like, surprise, surprise, Heather, we know you love florals, but I also just love the pattern element of florals. I love how typically in a floral coloring page, you have a little bit of a thicker design, so it's easier to color in. And I'm really picky about what I color, and I just love coloring florals. So I was at Joann's and I found this coloring book and I loved it. And so I decided to bring it home, and then I noticed once I got home that these pages are, well, at least the one in the back, this page is at least, this page is perforated. And I was thinking they all are, but now I'm realizing that only this one is perforated and the rest of them are not. But I thought they all were. But we're still going to make this work, because I don't know about you guys, but one thing I hate about coloring is when I'm trying to like color this design, but I can't really get to the edge with my colored pencil or my marker or whatever, because it's right on the edge. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be turning this coloring book, I'm going to punch it and put it on these mini metal discs that I have pulled out of my jar, and then that way I can easily remove pages when I want to color them. So the first thing you need to do is we need to unbind our book. You can take a book to somewhere like Staples or Office Max and ask them to cut your book, which sometimes is a better bet. But what I'm going to do is I'm just folding this back and I'm just ripping the cover off. Okay, so now I have this not so pretty spine, but then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the front and back cover off of that sticky spine. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my paper cutter. I'm going to move the discs aside, and I want to be sure to get a straight edge along the edge of this book, because it will make all the difference. So that way it's a straight edge. Okay, so then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to line it up with the one that I already cut, and I'm going to hold that down. Okay, so now I have my front and back cover. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to punch, if I'm being honest, because this paper punch is for paper, and this is a lot thicker than paper. So I could potentially jam this, but let's see. Nope, it worked perfectly. So one thing is what I did was I lined up the bottom right here on this line. Now, when I did that, it doesn't punch all the way, because this is for a classic punch and I need one more punch. So what I could do is I could find my big punch and pull it out and use it. That would probably be easier, but my big punch is still packed up with my teacher supplies, even though I quit teaching in June. And so I just slid it back in and punched another hole. Okay, so now my cover is punched. So now I'm going to take the back cover and I'm going to line it up right there with that line. I'm going to punch. And then I'm just going to take these towards the bottom, line it back up, and punch. So now my front and back cover have been punched to fit on the discs. So what I can do now is put my discs on. I chose to use metal discs just because I know that they will last longer. and that is important to me. So I chose these metals because I thought they looked pretty with the metal that's on the foil on the page. So now I have my front and back on the discs, and of course this is going to be sturdier once I can add the pages. Now, this is how I'm going to choose to do this. I am going to tear each page off of the spine, and then I'm going to cut each page with my paper trimmer. So this might take me a little bit to tear all of these out, but that's what I'm going to work on now. Before I just start trimming all of the pages, I want to take one page and make sure that it fits inside of this the way that I want it to. I don't want it to stick out and all of that. So I'm going to take a cover page and I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer. And I'm going to trim off just a section of it. I feel like I may want to trim off just a little bit more to make sure that it lays where I want it to lay. Okay, so now I'm going to punch just the first page because I want to make sure that it lines up the way I want it to. Sorry, I'm trying to line this up, and I know it's easier to line up if I put it on the table, but then if I put it on the table and push, it's going to make the camera shake really bad. So I apologize if the camera just shook a lot. Okay. So when I punch this onto the discs, see, it's like barely inside of the pages, but it is inside of the pages. So now I'm going to use this as my template to trim the rest of these. So this is going to be another boring part. I'm going to trim them and then I'm going to punch them, and I will fast forward through this whole part so that you don't have to be bored to tears. Now that I'm back, if I could do this again, I would have just pulled out my big punch. It was a pain to have to punch it and then re-punch it just to get that one extra punch when my big punch would have been enough. So if you get this exact book, I got this book, I don't know if I mentioned this, I got this coloring book at Michael's. If you get a book like this, that's this size where you need 9 holes, please just use your big punch. Don't be lazy like me. I was like, oh, I'll just use my classic punch. It's fine. It won't be that bad. it was pretty bad, you guys. It just took like extra long. It shouldn't have taken me as long to punch these pages as it did. But you know, you live and you learn. So this page looks like it's not even punched the right way. So that's always good. I may need to repunch that one. And I say it's not punched the right way because it's like the bottom isn't punched. And so then it is sticking out in a weird way. So I just repunched it the right way and put it on the discs. I can also tell that like this top punch isn't exactly right on every one, and then it's causing my discs to bend. Whereas if I would have just used my big punch, it would have been fine. So, and it looks like I forgot to punch a page. So it's not going to be perfect, but it would have been perfect if I had just used my big punch. That's okay though. So I am excited that I will be able to take my pages on and off the discs as needed to color. I think that's going to be awesome. I wonder if I could pop a lot of these on at once. This coloring book is also, I think it has a lot more pages than I thought, just because it took quite a while to punch. And you can see that I keep having trouble with that top punch, and that's the one that I had to add. Okay, too many pages at once. Okay, and so then we close it, and you can kind of tell like this upper corner is a hot mess on that disc because all of the punches aren't exactly even. But maybe if I spin the disc around a little bit, it'll help. But that is my coloring book that is now on discs, which is going to be nice when I do want to color. I can just pull a page off and start coloring and then pop it back in. So I don't regret doing this. I just regret not using my big punch. So I hope that this gives you an idea of how to use this disc bound system to really make it work for you. I'm excited about my coloring book. I can't wait to use it to color. And yeah, if you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button, and happy planning.